Hi, my name is Ayush Kishore. I train full-time at Celsius Tennis Academy. I don't take this opportunity for granted. Every day I try my best to improve my game so I can be a professional player. I want to show you how I train and take you on my journey.
One of the things that I noticed in yesterday's match was that Ayush wasn't starting the points as well. Once he was in the point, he had a clear advantage with his forehand, and he was in a better position to win the point and work the point and move the opponent around. But the start was always suspect. If the other player was hitting the serve really well, he wasn't able to return really well on the first serve. On the second serve, he wasn't attacking, which gave the other player a lot of comfort and safety in knowing that he would have the upper hand while serving. And on Ayush's serve, he wasn't making enough first serves, and he wasn't just comfortable hitting that big first serve to be able to get a lot of free points and put pressure back on the opponent and get some easy service games. So it was always a battle. It was more work than he had to do. And even though off the ground he was a better player, I think that he didn't win the match because he wasn't starting the point well. He wasn't starting the point on his terms. So today we're going to work a lot on technique of the serve, of the first serve particularly, getting a good pronation, really getting a good timing and sinking the serve well and getting a nice rhythm on the serve. And then on the return, on the first serve return, keeping things compact and really stepping in and using the weight transfer and momentum to get pace. And then on the second one, really hitting through that ball and not just neutralizing the shot and hitting it back, but really taking advantage of the second serve and attacking it. So that's what we're going to work on. And of course, we're going to do a lot of fitness like always. I hope you enjoy it. So one of the things that Ayush was doing yesterday in his matches on the return of serve was he was basically just hitting it like a ground stroke. So there was very little with the legs and there was a big backswing, and it was very difficult for him to return a quality serve. What he needs to do instead is have a lower base, really time his split step well when the person's about to hit the serve. So right when they're about to make contact, split, and then it's literally 1-2. You load and you go in. Again, split, load, go in, okay? And in terms of the racket work, it's a short little circle right over here. So instead of taking a big circle back here, split, just that much. Split, just that much. So we're gonna work on that. And on the second serve, which is a much slower one, you don't necessarily make a bigger backswing and try to hit a ground stroke on that. Instead, you kind of go more into the court. So instead of returning from way back here, what you want to do is kind of come in, and then by the time you're splitting and hitting, you're well inside. All right, so that's what we're going to work on now. Good. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Shorten it. And step in. Yes. Yes. Yes, good. That's okay. Good. That's okay. We're also going to address the serve today because in the match, Ayush wasn't making a lot of first serves. And when I asked him what the problem was, why he wasn't making so many first serves, he said, well, it just didn't click, it just didn't feel right, I just didn't feel that rhythm on the serve. And anytime that happens, I just go back to basics. I just go back to throwing the ball and just kind of feeling a good rhythm of just throwing, you know, getting away from the technique of a serve and getting more into the relaxed throw motion, because all you do is incorporate that with a racket and usually the timing comes back because there's so many complicated little components to hitting a good serve, and instead of addressing that bit by bit, it's just easier to go back to the basics and get a nice throw motion and then use that to benefit the serve. Just throw. Okay, here, again. Don't throw it over. Either throw it to the fence or throw it lower. Yeah, there. All right, now do the same with the racket. without the ball. Again. 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 Okay, now just pick up the ball and throw. Good. Good. As you can see, we're not even really looking to work on a serve per se. We're just looking to kind of throw the racket without letting go of it and just have ball, the toss just in the way. So you're just kind of throwing the racket at the ball. That's pretty much all we're trying to do here. And you can see how easy, smooth, and powerful the serve is. So as you can see, guys, on a day like this when we're doing a lot of work on technique, on returns and serves, we still make sure to go really hard on fitness. And the reason for this is not just the obvious reason that you want to be, stronger and faster on the court and things like that. It's also because on a day-to-day basis, I want to challenge Ayush as much as possible and give him goals and difficult targets so that he's tough mentally. See, a lot of players come to us at Celsius and they say, I'm not good under pressure, or I get too stressed, or I get nervous. And the answer is always the same. I mean, you can read books on mental toughness and you can talk to people about it and things like that, but our philosophy is that it's not just words that make someone mentally tough. It's actions and it's overcoming difficult challenges. And that's why every day when you do fitness, you do challenge your mind. It's not just your body, because you want to give up. It gets tough. Just like it's going to get tough in a match, just like it's going to get tough in a third set tiebreak, when a match is going really long, when a point's going really long, when the other person's tough and you have to deal with all of the things that they throw at you. Things are going to get tough. But the same way that you're going to be able to overcome challenges when you're doing fitness is the same way you're going to be able to overcome challenges in a match. And the more you push your body in practice and in fitness, the more mentally tough you're going to be and the more prepared you're going to be to compete hard in matches and be able to overcome difficult situations. It's a habit like everything else. That's the reason that we push Ayush as much as we do in fitness every day, and we hope that it pays off in matches and in tough situations as well. But with that said, one thing that we have to be very careful about is injuries. A lot of young players, they'll push, they'll do a lot, but there's a fine line. How much do you push someone before they get mentally burnt out? How much can you push someone before they physically give up? So that's a fine line as a coach that you have to draw, that you have to understand where that boundary is. But at Celsius, we believe that you just push the player as much as possible, and then you build other things around that work to protect them. For example, if a player is getting kind of fatigued mentally and they're starting to lose desire to train and compete or work hard, you put them in a lot of match situations. You put them in a lot of different types of match situations, singles, doubles, little bit higher level tournaments, little bit lower level tournaments, so that they get distracted from just the work and start to see results one way or another and get refueled and re-energized because there's something to look forward to. That's one way that you can keep people from getting mentally fatigued, that there's another tournament, there's another challenge in terms of competition. It's not just mindless training every day. Similarly for injury prevention, you keep pushing the player, but you also make sure that they're doing the weights. You also make sure that they're doing enough stretches. There's no substitute for pure hard work in terms of being mentally prepared to win matches.